So Claire is in Miss Martin's class. And she's got some bread up in that back room. If you ever been in that back room, you know what's up. She forgot about it a little while. And she noticed there was 1 square millimeter of mold up on there.
We did this last year.
Yep. And she waited another day. There are 2 square millimeters of mold. So you might see what's happening here. Your job is, on your sheet, you've got 1, 2, 3. I don't care if you do 1 on your sheet. 1 on this slide is 2 on your sheet. You're going to make a table of values through 5 days. You're going to write the equation for the function. And you're going to sketch a graph of our situation. You are going to then make a claim. Is it a function, yes or no? And if it is, you're going to use a function statement, like blah, blah, blah is a function of blah, blah, blah. All right, with your partner, moldy bread time. Let's go. So checking out this problem with the mold. I'm going to make an XY table. I know it gives us different variables, but I'm going to go up to 5 days. On day 0, or starting, we had 1. That doubles to be 2, doubles to be doubles, 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 and it keeps doubling. Okay. So let's build our equation. So I'm going to use the right variables. The area is equal to my initial value. What's my initial value? 1 square millimeter. And what's happening to it? Doubling to D days. There's our function, okay? And a graph. I'm just going to go 5 days. And then I need to go up to 35, 5, 10, 15, 20, 25, 30, 35. Okay. We went 1, 2, 4, 8, 16. Stuff was pretty tight there for a minute, huh? 32. And this shape definitely looks like everything we keep seeing in this unit that's exponential, right?
Are you going to make us make graphs instead?
Yeah, of course. So is it a function? Thumbs up for yes, thumbs down for no. Is it a function? Got lots of thumbs up. And yes, it is. And it is because what is a function of what?
Mold is a function of time.
Yeah, area of mold is a function of time. So that means time is independent and area of mold is dependent on that time. Yeah.
Technically, time is also a function of area of mold because it's not going to be the same value twice.
Time, it does make sense to be a function of the mold in terms of input-output. But
I know that
the independent dependent, yeah.
I know how that works, but technically,
Yeah, I like what you're saying. But if bacteria could change time, that'd be pretty crazy. I like to think about that sometimes at night. So 1, 2, and 3 are all situations we've already seen in this unit. Your job is to take care of the 3 bullet points for each one. You're going to write a sentence in the form of blah, blah, blah is a function of blah, blah, blah. You're going to indicate which is independent and which is dependent for your variables. And you're going to write the equation that represents your situation. It's always the one. Okay. So with your partner, 3 things for each of the 3 things, which means how many things total? 9 things total. Let's go. So I don't have a ton of room to write. So for the first 2 bullets for each, we're just going to talk about them. And then we will write the equation under each on the board. So for number 1, we've got these bacteria. Who can give me sentence form of the function? Evan. The number of bacteria is a function of time. As time goes, the bacteria increases. Who can tell me which one's independent and dependent? Ellie.
the bacteria
Yeah, the number of bacteria is dependent on the time. So what that means is, in function notation, I'm writing with the highlighter. F of t equals everybody initial value. 50. What's happening to it? Doubles. How many times? T times.
My God.
You gotta be that happens when it says split, you think half, right? It does split in half, but when it splits in half, 1 becomes 2. Yep.
So basically,
what it is called.
isn't it all the same surface area or something?
Well, they grow after they split. Yeah. Okay, problem number 2. All right, Julia. What is my function sentence for number 2, this new car? The value of the car is a function of time. Who can tell me what the dependent and independent variables are? Raymer.
The price is dependent, the time is dependent.
Yeah, the price depends on the amount of time. So, the function of time equals initial value. What is it? Everybody.
18,000.
And what's happened to my 18,000?
2/3.
2/3 is left each year. If I lose a third, I'm left with 2/3. That was the number one problem on yesterday's checkpoint. It said the medicine loses like a fifth,
And they roll at 1/5.
which means 4/5 is left. You got to be careful with the wording.
Multiply by 1/5. That's
All right, next we're going to talk about this algae bloom. I remember this problem. Who can give it to me in a function sentence? Hadley.
The area of the algae is a function of time.
Yep, the area of algae is a function of time. What's dependent and independent, Willa?
The algae, the area of the algae is dependent on the number of days it's spent since they started treating.
Yeah, so the area of algae depends on the days. You guys want to know what they call, this is an algae bloom. Do you know what they call an algae bloom in Florida? Orlando bloom. He's the guy, he's Legolas from The Hobbit. He's like the second main guy in Pirates of the Caribbean. Orlando Bloom, the actor.
I fell asleep.
Okay, you guys don't know who Orlando Bloom is, apparently.
I Lord of the Rings.
I thought that was a pretty decent-ish one. But nobody's been laughing today, so that's on me. Okay,
Hour for the
let's get the function down. Right back here, that corner. Someone get his attention. Okay, so let's build this function. F of t equals, what's my initial value?
240.
240, and what's happening to it?
1/3.
1/3 remains. Why didn't I write 2/3? Last time I subtracted from the whole. What's the difference in the wording, Heidi?
Well, it says a third of the previous day's area remains.
Yeah. Where the other one said,
A third is
I lost a third, which leaves 2. So you got to be careful with decay with the wording. And then how many times? T times, baby. Is it ever all going to be gone? Never. Awesome. We did it. Instead of the lesson summary, I'm going to have you guys do the cool down today. When you are done with the cool down, run it by me. Homework's in the top basket.